Whew. In this video, just showing you the editing and selecting I'm doing for a bunch of photos, just so if you were wondering what I do each day and how I do it. So I've been out, I've shot 2 different properties, and this is me just going through the editing and selecting process. What I do nowadays is I've made up a user preset, so I can just click that and that sets most of the settings which I do frequently for all my property photos. So for example, highlights down so that the windows aren't too glary, shadows up so we get a bit more detail in the shadow areas, clarity up a little touch, exposure up a little bit as well. I usually, the exposure in the camera, I usually like it just be a little bit brighter than what I would consider to be the spot on level. So I'm mostly just changing stuff around, like the cropping, the straightening, the saturation and stuff like that. I also always induce the camera profile as well, so that helps get rid of the vignetting. As you can see, there's a bit of a curve and a strong vignette with the Canon 16 to 35 f2, so always make sure that that's on. And I set the camera calibration profile to camera faithful. So here, again, this little room seems just maybe a little touch too orange, so just going to bring the white balance down just a fraction. Sometimes also whenever you change the white balance, it kind of either gets a little bit darker or a little bit brighter, so you've got to play around with exposure when you change the brightness. But otherwise, that's seeming pretty straight, not needing to fanny around with that too much. So what I'll do is I click P, so it's a flagged photo. As a second shot of this room, it got it so you can see out into the hallway and into the room next door. So here you can see the straight lines down the side there, they're pretty much fine. You've got the plug at the bottom, it's not really much of an issue. I might just sometimes brighten up. I'll actually just bring that, if it's a room which doesn't have a window, I'll bring the highlights back instead of trying to recover as many of the highlights as possible. If it's a room which doesn't have a window, sometimes bring the highlights back to kind of the 0 position, and that looks about fine there. But otherwise, the only thing that I would possibly change is you can see the light over here is quite orangey. So I might, exposure down, highlights up, and exposure up as well, so just a little touch there. And pick that one. The next shot, that's from the one side of the bed, and then that's from... And then that's from the other. It's unlikely we're going to be wanting pictures of both sides. So here, where we can see both the windows and all that stuff, this is the shot which I'm going to want to use. And I'm just going to have a little bit of straightening on this, just a tiny amount, and happy with that. Shot of the garden from above. Okay, it's a little bit too bright there, and I'll bring the vibrance up a touch. It needs to be straightened just a little bit. And that looks fine there, maybe a bit more highlights all the way down, maybe exposure down just to +15. That looks nice, that's a nice bright garden from the window. And then here's the shot, they're saying, oh yeah, great views over to the first and fourth. I'm like, okay, that's going to be a bit of a tight one to see, but that shouldn't be too bad actually. So I'll just crop that one. So we've just got this, woohoo, got now an image of the view. Again, this is zoomed into 35mm. I wasn't shooting at the full 28, no, was it 22 megapixels with the Canon 5D Mark II? And I'll just get the temperature up just a touch. But yeah, so you do have a view over the golf course. And in fact, can I bring more of the golf course in? We could even have a golfer in the shot. What about if we did that? Is that a golfer? Yes, he's got... Is that a golfer, or that may just be somebody cutting the grass next door? Actually, okay, so won't bother too much with that person there. So yeah, nice little view there. Kitchen, so this is a kind of kitchen living room, so a nice small little room, and a couple things that we wanted to change here. One is get rid of the wooden thing, but otherwise lights on, hood light on as well, and then also just moving these plugs out of the way. So the shot which I kind of went for more is this. So there's a little bit, ooh, it's very bright at the window. Let's see which one do I like most. Straight on is quite nice, but I think because you like seeing the door, maybe not all the way down to the bin. So what I'll do is, first of all, always check with the central line for straightness. Seems to be okay, and then I'll just bring the crop down just a touch there, and it looks like I'm pointing down just a touch, so I shall just go to manual, vertical, maybe +9, constrain crop. Nope, totally the other way. Nope. Right. What is going on? So that's +3, +7, +7. That's where it is. So yeah, just sometimes tiny fractions. Bit orange there, so white balance down just a touch. Let's take it down to 7.6 at 4,650, and that looks good. Happy with that. Okay, choosing that one above the others. Yep. Or do I want this one? This one I might actually do. So bring white balance back down to 4,549. Straightening looks pretty good, but I'll do a little bit of white balance and brightening up in this hallway area. I think just the light was hitting through kind of like an orange, what do you call it, an orange shade. So just do that. And happy with that. Let's see. Come on, computer, come on. Oh, computer is totally slowing down. Nope, not wanting you, wanting this picture. Yeah, so if I click the backslash, that's it before, and that's it after. Yeah, happier with that. So that gives a good dimension of the size and shape, and its orientation with the rooms next door. Okay, then the shot from the effectively the kitchen looking back. So this one, lots of straight lines for me to be able to straighten this one. It's just fractions that are needing change, and again, because that window's not really got the sun coming in, to brighten up, I'm just going to bring the highlight back a touch, and maybe white balance. Again, you're just playing with fraction. Again, trying to get it totally spot on in camera, bit of a challenge, and it's always easier to on a nice big screen to really start editing the photos. And here, so with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop out. You can see all the wires at the bottom down there. Crop it into there, and that should be fine. White balance, just a touch. Cool. Okay, so then, yeah, bathroom. Bit of a challenge in this one because there is also a shower right beside me. So I'm going to send them 2 photos. Was this one better? Yeah, because I changed the toilet roll. Brightness is a bit too bright. And vibrance I can bring just a touch down because it's already a very vibrant room. And straightening. So central line looks good there, and then let's change vertical positioning like that and click constrain crop. Cool, happy with that. Nice one. And the one, so I'm actually in the bath shooting this one. Took 2 shots. I think the one where we can see, and obviously I'm just I couldn't do this with a tripod or anything like that, trying to set up a tripod in a bath and half out of bath and all that stuff. I wouldn't be able to get as wide an angle as I want here. So this is, well, first of all, what I'll do is I'll just click the previous shot and this shot and just do an auto sync, so it's everything including the white balance, and then do the adjustments just so it's roughly the same as what I'm looking for. So highlights, let's bring them back just a touch. Maybe there wasn't a light in the shower, so I might just brighten this up. First of all, just paint it. Highlights up a bit, exposure up a bit. White balance, temperature up just a touch as well. Straighten it. So fortunately it's got tiles all down the wall, so we can straighten it there, and you can see that's quite a big angle of the corners pointing down the way. So yeah, don't want it +7, want it maybe -9. Ooh, that almost looked like it totally worked straight away. That would have been pretty good. And let's see, -10, can't see any difference. -12, let's see, go for that. White balance, it's still pretty good. Like if I were to use the colour picker and I do that, it would suddenly go miserably blue. Just because there's so much yellow like paint on the walls, it's reflected it back. But I'd bring it up to around about 4,500. Let's see, that looks good there. It's a little bit too purple on the ground, so bring that down to +14. And the previous shot, just double check that one, white balance, yeah, just bring it down a touch. So those are the two shots of the same bathroom which I'm using. So you can see how it's laid out. External, time for a coffee. So what this was the little kind of annex of this house. It's effectively those rooms up there. So this is how it came out the camera. I'm quite happy with that, but what's just again holding my neutral density graduated filters on top. So let's see the shot. So that's okay, but this is more the shot which I want. So what I'll do to get the kind of shaded areas to be less blue, obviously I will just change the white balance, but an easier thing is in the split toning, go to the shadows and give that a little bit, yeah, straight away that looks a little bit happier. And then what I'll do is I'll just paint over the building area here roughly, and I'll just bring that up to like +11. So yeah, oh, that's looking so much better. And maybe highlights, because that's the building, I want it to look bright. And just get a little bit closer up around the top there. That is a nice way to show off. So let's just get it straight as well. That's roughly straight, and we shall just add a little bit of straightening to it. Constrain crop. Click that. Let's see, it's a nice outdoor shot, so give it a little bit more vibrance. Maybe bring the white balance up just a touch. Maybe bring the highlights back in a little bit as well. And contrast that maybe just a bit more as well. So let's see, so that's where I've got it now. That's what it was like at the start. That's what it's like at the end. Much kind of warmer, brighter, cozier feel going on there. Cropping wise, I might just bring in from the bottom a little bit. Don't need to see all this ground, as it were. And that looks like a nice shot there. You could easily have some text over here saying property for rent or for sale or whoever it is. Yeah, better there. So then just clicking pick on that. There was another angle shooting that, but I was kind of shooting into the sun, not really going with that. Again, garden shot, maybe vibrance up a little bit, highlights down, exposure up, good. Shot of the patio, just bring highlights down, right down, exposure down just a touch, vibrance up. And this angle, I don't know if I would be using that angle. So, right, am I only going to give them one external? Maybe a close up as well. Yeah, I think I'll just go with that. So what I'll do is then after doing that, select all the ones which I've flagged. So that's all of these. Quite a lot for just a one bedroom property. And click Command A, select them all, go to export, and then export. So I'll just find out the name of this property. And then I'm exporting it out at 2.2 megapixels, and I'm limiting the file size to 380 kilobytes. That's absolutely fine for all the websites that they use them on. In fact, that's more than enough, because that's 2.2 megapixels is more than a full-size HD TV, meaning that you can have it at 55 inches if you wanted, no problem. So that was the first property which I've edited today.